The best way of returning a post-formed laminate worktop around an internal corner is to use a method known as butt and mitre. This demonstration will briefly outline the techniques used for creating this joint. An internal corner joint can be created either right or left-handed and is normally determined by the most economical use of the worktop lengths. The front edge of the worktop usually has to be mitered to the adjoining surface to enable a seamless connection. It's common practice in industry to use a router and worktop jig to form these joints. Not all worktop jigs are exactly the same. It's important that the manufacturer's instructions are followed to prevent costly mistakes. The direction the router is used to create each part of the joint is vital to prevent damage to the post-formed edge. To form the female part of this joint, the worktop needs to be face down, whilst routing from the underside. Worktop jigs are universal, so it's important to establish the width of the worktop before setting up. The worktop jig is located with several pins inserted strategically in predetermined positions and held in position with clamps. Attach a 30mm template guide to the router base before adjusting the depth of the router cutter. The female joint on the worktop edge has to be formed in several passes of the router, adjusting the depth with each pass. In practice, not all corners are exactly square. To overcome this problem, the uncut male worktop should be laid over the female joint whilst in position, and marked out to indicate the exact angle of the male joint. Place the jig over the face side of the worktop and reposition the pins to the locations indicated on the manufacturer's instructions. Align the edge of the worktop jig to the angle of the marking out previously established. Make sure that a margin is left to allow for the distance between the edge of the router cutter and the outside of the template guide. Place the two sections of the worktop together to ensure a tight fit. Three worktop connecting bolts are normally housed into the underside of the joint. Inserting several wooden biscuits into the male and female joints with a biscuit jointer will allow the joint to be easily aligned and add strength. At this stage, the connecting bolt should be recessed into the underside of the worktop using the jig and router. Refer to the manufacturer's instructions for the exact positions of the location pins before placing the jig tightly against each joint in turn to complete the recesses. Mark the intended positions of 2 or 3 biscuits before using the biscuit jointer to complete the slots required. Although not seen here, a mobile dust extractor or another effective method of dust collection should be used every time the biscuit jointer or router is used to machine the worktop. Ensure that the joint is free of dust, grease and pencil marks before applying several strips of coloured joint adhesive along the full length of the joint. It's important to work quickly to assemble the joint. Insert the connection bolts and make any adjustments because the adhesive only allows 5 to 8 minutes working time before it starts to dry. Avoid over-tightening the bolts at this stage until the worktop joint has been perfectly aligned. Any surplus adhesive should be removed from the surface of the joint with either a wooden or plastic scraper to prevent scratching.